So today we're going to start again working through the chakras. We're going to start from the bottom and work our way up. And we're going to come into with a little bit more information about kind of like assessing like a blocked chakra, if you will, or noticing the qualities in ourselves that might bring up that. It's an energy flow system, right? So we're thinking about the base of the spine up to the top of the head, and you want the energy to be go up and down, right? Because so it's not like a one-way highway, right? And we're always in flux, right? So that's why we practice, right? So it helps us come back into harmony with ourselves. External events can disrupt the flow, seasonal changes disrupt the flow, hormonal food, all these things. So being a living being organism in relationship with the world, we know that is part of being alive, right? Having these ebbs and flows and being able to stay centered even within all of the things that could come up, which feels like probably everything that could ever imagine and come up has kind of come up in these last couple of years. So it is, it is kind of like kind of the center of all of it, right? It's the center of all of it. So the root chakra, right, is our foundation chakra. It's in our sacrum, right? So it's like our coccyx, right? Truly the base, right? And if you know it all, like when we're born, like it's kind of that's where the spine starts to grow from. So it really is how we develop anatomically in utero, right? And then same thing, so energetically, disruptions or blocks with that chakra could be you, right? Could be you and the way you are in the world. We'll talk a bit more. And it could be also, if you believe this, like ancestral or intergenerational, right? Because we kind of hold those things, like because it does come in, right, from birth, right? Pre-birth, right? So, yeah, finding a seat. So I want us to, really feel that. So the qualities, right? The positive qualities of a root chakra, right, is identity, right? A positive self view, right? How we are in the world, because it is a lot about safety. I feel safe in my body. I feel safe in my environment. It is a lot about having our needs met, right? In a really basic way, right? First of all, you have to be able to know what your needs are, but like healthy food, shelter, those types of qualities. And it does also have a sense of feeling safe in the world, right? So feeling safe in the world, feeling confident in the world. So those are like really positive qualities. When it's out of alignment, if those are positive qualities, then you can imagine a lot of it is food related, right? So a lot about eating disorder, those are like, really negative qualities, right? That could be a part of that disrupted first, that root chakra, right? So you're not able to nourish yourself well. You have a imbalanced relationship to food. And those, again, it could be, relationship wise too, right? Intergenerational. So there's lots of things around those. So those are some things that might manifest that you could think about. And probably all have like parts of all of this in this, of course. Out of touch, right? Out of touch with reality, right? A mental state where you're, not grounded at all. I mean, just, it could be like flighty or not having sense. A negative self-image, right? A really negative self-image is also a quality of a blocked or an imbalance in our root chakra. And like energetically, like, this is where we start. So, we're moving up. So then, like ennui, being lethargic, those are also qualities that suggest like an imbalance or a block in that chakra. And again, right, and we all have this that comes through us, right? So these are all things, big, small, like that are a quality that we might have, positive or negative, right? So it's all working with these. So not being total in any of these descriptive things. Like, so we just kind of have that sense. So we want to amplify the more positive qualities, right, of our root chakra. And so I want us just to kind of feel into, right, that area. So when finding our comfortable seat so we can connect down, right, fully with our coccyx. So it is like a sense of really beingness, right? I can like empowerment and just being in your body, like connecting with the earth. Yeah, and once you find that comfortable seat for you, you can let the eyes soften. And just allowing yourself to come more fully into your body by bringing your attention to your breath in and to your breath out. Just imagine a flow of the breath, like inhaling, starting at the root of the spine. You're going to inhale up the length of the spine. Right? And then think about the exhale going down the spine, right? And then releasing, grounding again into the root at the end of the exhale and drawing up again. A few times like that. And then coming back to our natural breath, we can stay with the eyes kind of soft here or closed if that's comfortable for you. And I want us just to move through the hips here, move through the sacrum, and just starting that with a little leaning forward and a little leaning back. So rocking. And then we can transition from forward to back rocking and move into a side to side movement. So coming back, just so we can lean to the right, lean to the left. And then coming back through center, let's put those directions together, starting to circle. You might have big circles, you might have smaller circles. Yeah, and then whatever way we're circling, notice that. And the next time the chest comes forward, let's take those circles in the opposite direction. The next time the chest comes forward, we're going to stay with the chest forward. We're going to bring the hands in front of the shins. This again could be where you're using a block. So we want to keep the sit bones, our seat connected to the mat, but we're going to start to stretch up out of the hips. So if it feels like you're kind of almost touching the earth, but not like that in-between place, bring the block underneath your hands so you're supported here. Yeah, we're going to take a few breaths, so there might be some forward movement. Yeah, so as we're moving through class today, I want us to think about that quality of feeling supported, right? Feeling held. And think about using the block to help amplify that. So if it feels like you're kind of in that weird in-between space, right, then we can connect physically with the block to amplify that sense of connection, grounding, and being held. So that might be a different way that we're looked at using that tool. As your next inhale comes, right, we're going to take the top of the head back up towards the ceiling. Check out which leg is in front. Remember it. Bring the soles of the feet to the mat, right? So we're going to be in our boat pose, right? So again, we're connected through the seat. So, right, strengthening out through this shape. That might mean feet stay connected to the floor. You might be able to lift the feet. We're going to have a stronger maybe connection than just with the sacrum. We might take the arms free. The legs might extend, right? You're going to look like you lift the chest. We're here for 5 breaths. Breathing in, breathing out 1, breathing in, breathing out 2, breathing in, breathing out 3, breathing in, breathing out 4, breathing in, breathing out 5. Bringing ourselves back down to a cross-legged seat. Bring now the opposite leg in front. Right, one more time, coming forward. So again, we're coming forward as much as we do while still maintaining connection with the seat to our mat floor. Again, using the block as needed. We got one more breath here. Staying through the exhales. The inhale comes, we're going to make our way into tabletop. So you might just draw yourself over. You might be doing some more moves to get to tabletop. But as we're fine, you can still keep that. If you have cushion, you can leave that under the knees. As you're finding tabletop, we're going to have our hands spread really wide, right? Shoulders are over the wrists, the hips are over the knees. Again, if it's comfortable softening the eyes or closing them here, you can see that as part of your practice if you choose. I want us to imagine here with our cat and cow that the sacrum or tailbone is really a little bit like a whip, right? That's what's going to move us. So lifting the tailbone, right? Let that drop the spine down, chest moves forward, right? And then tucking the tailbone, right? Then let that arc the spine up towards the ceiling. Right, so we're like trying as best as we're able to really feel the movement starting in both directions from our coccyx. One more round here, inhaling through cow and exhaling through cat. Right, and then from cat, we're gonna lengthen out through the spine. Belly's gonna stay engaged. Let's extend the right leg long behind us. Toes could stay on the mat. We can lift up that foot. Left arm can stretch forward. Fingertips can stay on the mat, or you might be able to lengthen it out off the mat. You see what feels okay to you. We're here for 3 breaths. Breathing in. Breathing out 1. Breathing in. Breathing out 2, breathing in, breathing out 3. All right, come back down with hands and knees. I want us to shift the hips back to the heels for child's pose, but I want our head to connect here. So as we shift back, we could 1 potato, 2 potato the hands to let the forehead rest on something. You could use the block here again underneath the head. Right, your head might come all the way to the mat readily, so we're all going to look different here. Yeah, but once you have that connection with the head to a surface, right, that helps, again, just relax the body a little bit more. Right, and then I want you to think here again of each exhale of a weightedness in the tailbone, right? So there's a heaviness of the seat towards the heels, or a release, if you will, with the exhale as it comes. 2 more breaths like that. As your next inhale comes, we'll again travel into tabletop. And as we find tabletop, we have our belly button moving towards our spine, so strong through our core. This time we're going to stretch the left leg out long. That heel can lift up, right? We can trickle those right fingertips forward and leave them on the floor, right? You might have them lift, you decide. Again, here we are for 3 breaths. Breathing in, breathing out 1, breathing in, breathing out 2, breathing in, breathing out 3. Bring both hands back together, bring both knees back together. We're gonna move into downward facing dog. So toes are gonna tuck. If you have props, you might move them off to the side of your mat. Move out here, pedaling, bending one knee and then the other knee, right? You could be rolling over tops of feet, knees could be pivoting towards center. Now play a little bit with how it feels to step the feet in closer together, leaving the heels heavy, just kind of noticing where you feel stretch and sensation with the shaping of the body. And then stepping the feet to the outer edges of the mat, stepping the feet wide, noticing where you feel stretch and sensation with this shaping of the body. And then softening the knees, look forward. Let your exhale bring your feet towards your hands. We're going to be in a forward fold. All right, so as feet and hands come together, we're going to maintain distance between the inseams of the legs, right, and some softness behind the knees. Again, hands here could, if they don't readily come to the mat, they could be on blocks, right? Just take a couple breaths, letting the crown of the head be really heavy. So we're reversing the spine, right? So now the head's moving more towards the earth and the sacrum is more towards the ceiling. And then once you feel like, give yourself a little ragdoll swing here. So swinging back and forth, that could be with loose arms. You might interconnect fingers or bring opposite hands to elbows. And then ease back through center. You can let the hands go if they came together. We're going to say yes with our head. We're going to say no with our head. A little I don't know, a little shoulder shrug, side to side. Letting the head still. Let's take a breath in through the nose, a breath out through the mouth. And then from here, we're going to soften the knees. We're going to roll up to standing. Right, as the top of the head starts to stack, we can circle up with the arms. Palms can come together overhead. We can exhale, hands together to the center of the chest, and then make our way to the top of the mat. Take your block with you if you're using blocks. All right, letting the eyes soften here. Feeling the feet on the mat, I want you to imagine that you're connecting through your mat, through the floor, like down to the earth, right? And you could imagine really far into the earth. You can imagine the connection like tree roots, very, very deep. Right, walking with a physical connection truly to dirt, to the earth with, bare feet on the earth is a great way to work with a blocked first chakra, right? So it's grounding, being in nature, just even within itself, grounding, nourishing. So these are other ways that we can support first chakra work. Yeah, and then with that sense of strong connection, right, down to the earth with the feet, let's interlock the thumbs and stretch fingertips up towards the ceiling. We're going to exhale. We're going to tilt to the right. We're going to inhale center. We're going to tilt to the left. Okay, and we're going to inhale center, and then we're going to exhale. Arms are going to open up really wide, forward fold. Let the hands connect here again, either to the mat or the block. We're going to step back with that right foot. As the right foot steps back, the toes are going to face the long edge of the mat. The foot is connected fully. And then we can use that right arm to open us up into our warrior two. All right. Yeah, so feet are rooting down. Yeah, strong arms here. As we inhale, we're going to lengthen the legs. Arms are going to come up overhead. And then we're going to exhale back to our warrior two. So there's the flow. All right, moving like you. Bend your elbows or can create a little more ease in your shoulder. That might be right for you. Right, so when we change how we're moving here, like to really listen and respect our body, right? Thinking about it as like empowerment, right? So you're doing what you need to do for you. Yeah, really manifest that best we can in our practice today. One more flow here. We're going to inhale up and we're going to exhale back to a warrior two. All right. Right. From our warrior two, we're going to stay really strong through the upper body. Navel's really engaged towards the spine. We're going to lengthen both legs. And as I lengthen both legs, I'm drawing up and towards center. So I really want you to feel that engagement really truly in our lower abdominal area. And hold on to that. We're going to find our triangle pose. We exhale. We're going to reach forward with those left fingers, right? And then here we start to shift our shape. So triangle pose, you are pressing actively into the mat with the feet, right? So that's where that strength and that engagement comes from. Hands can float. You can bring a hand to the shin, right? This could be, again, where we reach for a block. All right. As we're pressing into the feet, there's a sense, a little bit of drawing in with our booty, right? So we're feeling really engaged through that lower abdominal area. When my booty presses out, like I lose the shape, right? So I want to feel really stack with the hips, stack with the shoulders. Nice job. Give yourself another breath here. Right, end of the exhale, soften that front knee. Let that top arm come down. We can connect again with the mat, or you could have your blocks under your hands here. We're going to turn up our back heel. We're going to soften the back knee so we can feel into that back quad. The chest stretches more forward. And then as the exhale comes, right, both feet are going to come back together at the top of the mat. As the feet come back together, we're going to give ourselves a halfway lift. Right? They could be hands to shins. You can fingertip on blocks. We're going to fold back down with the exhale. Inhaling, we're going to rise all the way up. Exhale, hands together, center of the chest. Little pause here. Again, imagine the roots of your feet moving into the earth more fully, however you envision that. And then crossing thumbs, we're going to stretch fingertips up. We're going to exhale. We're going to tilt to the left. We're going to inhale center. We're going to exhale to the right. Inhaling back through center. Here's where we open up the arms so we can fold forward. Right, hands connect down to something. Walk our mat from that connection. Just pick up the left foot. Left foot's going to step all the way back. Toes are going to face the long edge of the mat. Foot's fully on the mat. Right, then we use that left arm. Open us up again into our warrior two. Feel the feet still grounding down. And then from there, we're going to inhale, rise up. Exhale, we find our warrior two again. Moving like you. Shifting, adapting, any of the movements to best meet the needs of you today. We have one more time here in flow. And as we make our way back to our warrior two, I want you to feel the arms first here. So right, the shoulders are settling away from the ears. I'm very engaged and drawing in through my front body. I want to hold on to that And then as I lengthen that front leg again, zoop, that's even amplifying that. So very engaged and strong in my deep abdominal, or my, I may say better, more than my lower abdominal area. As I exhale, I'm going to reach forward with my right fingers. Here I am finding myself again in my triangle pose. Press into the feet a lot. I can float my arms. I can connect with the hand to the shin again. I could be reaching for my block. Right? So you're going to build the shape in a way that feels supportive to you. Here for 3. Breathing in. Breathing out 1. Breathing in. Breathing out 2. Breathing in. Breathing out 3. All right, soften your front knee. Both hands are going to come to frame out that front foot, either with the hands on the mat or blocks. We're going to pick up that back heel. We're going to soften the back knee to stretch the chest more forward. And then we're going to exhale. Feet together at the top of the mat. Halfway lift, breathing in. Exhaling, folding back down. Inhaling, we're going to circle all the way up with the arms. Exhale. Back to mountain. Take just a step back on your mat. So we'll just come more towards the center of our mat. Yeah, and then we're still in our mountain pose. Again, I still want to feel that strong sense of kind of drawing the belly in and out, right? So there's that lift and engagement in our lower abdominal area. We're going to weight into the right leg so we can pick up the left heel and turn out that left knee. We're finding our tree pose, right? And in my tree pose, I can keep the toes on the mat. I could take that foot up further to the calf. If it's coming up more, it has to be over the knee, right? So no pressure on the joint itself. Yeah, and then let's keep the palms together at the center of the chest today. I want to feel more centered, both in our physical shape and in our mental shape, if you will. And then let the gaze rest on something non-moving. Right, still having a connection, our full breath in, our full breath out. And shoulders are relaxed. Jaw is soft. Give yourself another breath cycle here. And at the end of your exhale, we'll slide the feet back together on the floor. Draw the palms down just a little bit. So you're going to feel the shoulder blades hug onto the back more actively. And then let the gaze drop to the tips of your fingers. A few breaths here, just sensing, feeling. As the next inhale comes, take the fingertips all the way up to the ceiling, a little bit like a water fountain. Exhaling, arms are going to circle out wide and then gathering back together at the center. We're going to visit tree pose on our second side. So now standing strong on the left leg so we can pick up the right heel, turn out the right knee. Again, strong, engaged lower abdominal area. Maybe foot moves up the leg more. Maybe a lot more. Right, once you have your shape, again, we're keeping the hands at our center today. We're lifting the gaze as much as we're able, which might just still be on the floor, but a little bit more ahead of us, but focusing the gaze softly, right, on a non-moving spot, object, if you will. Yeah, see if you could feel a little bit more free with the breath, maybe feeling it dancing across the back of the body. Maybe swirling a little through the head, softening through the forehead. Yeah, you got another breath here. End of the exhale, right? Both feet are going to return to the mat. As both feet come back down to the mat, we're going to kind of have our goalpost arms. So we're going to move the hands away from us and keep the elbows a little bit below the shoulder. And it is, again, a little bit of that feeling of kind of hugging the shoulder blades onto the back body. But I don't want to pop out my chest in my seat, right? So I still want it to feel like I'm engaged actively at my center. I'm not lifting here with my arms, but I am pressing my feet into the floor, kind of lifting the top of my head up, but thinking about that all through the center seam of the body, right? And then once I have that, it's like a little bit of a lift or turning from the chest, right? So I'm still engaged at center, but the chest lifts up a little bit, nose can turn up towards the ceiling. Yeah, 3 big breaths here, breathing in, breathing out 1, breathing in, breathing out 2, breathing in, breathing out 3. All right, soften the knees here. We're gonna kind of dive down. So we're gonna soften the knees a lot. Chest is gonna move towards the thighs, and then I'm gonna stretch my hands up towards the ceiling. Working towards interlacing fingers. If that doesn't come readily, hold on to the hem of your shirt. Keep the knees really bendy here. Give yourself a few breaths to let the spine lengthen, right? So the head is very heavy towards the floor, right? And then there might be space to fill in behind the knee, so the legs might lengthen. There might be space, right, to stretch the fingertips, knuckles, if you will, more towards the ceiling. Yeah, one more full breath cycle here. As the exhale comes, breathe out of the mouth. Yeah. Then letting the hands go, we're going to make our way back to sitting on the mat. So we can come on down. Yeah. And as we come back down to a seat, we're going to have the legs extended in front of us. Right, again, if you got stuffs, you can move stuffs out of the way so you're feeling your bones, right, connecting more fully. I want to keep the right toes up towards the ceiling. That leg's going to stay extended. Perhaps, and then I'm going to bring the left foot in. We're going to have a seated spinal twist today. This is a beautiful shape to really, again, amplify those positive qualities of a balanced first chakra. So the left foot's going to come outside that right leg, right? And again, I want to feel even across both sides of my seat on the mat. If you choose and you can stay balanced with the sit bones on the mat, you can draw that right foot back, right? So we could have 2 bent knees if that works for your body. All right, we could stay with the one leg extended. All right, I want to sit really tall here. So I can use here the left hand to kind of find a little bit more length through the torso, through the spine. I'm going to breathe in fully tall as I can. Then as I exhale, I'm going to turn my chest towards my left thigh. I can give myself a hug. Both hands could come around the shin. Right, I could have an elbow outside that leg so you can build up the shape as much as you like. Right, and then the gaze too, or the nose can move even towards that left shoulder, right? You can bring the neck in more. Let the eyes be soft. We have 5 breaths. Breathing in. Breathing out 1. Breathing in. Breathing out 2. Breathing in. Breathing out 3. Breathing in. Breathing out 4. Breathing in. Breathing out 5. Inhale back through center. We're going to switch out our sides, lengthening out through both legs, reestablishing center. Right now, my left leg's going to stay extended. Right, my right foot's going to come in. I'm going to take that right foot outside the left leg. Right, I'm really consciously keeping those left toes up. I can keep my right hand down, right? So I want to lengthen the spine as much as I'm able. Big breath in, tall. And then as I exhale, chest moves towards my right leg. Again, I could have a hug. I could keep an arm down. Have that elbow outside the leg, arm could be up or down. You're gonna find a weight that feels right for you for a 5-breath cycle. Again, eyes can be soft if you choose. Breathing in, breathing out 1, breathing in, breathing out 2, breathing in, breathing out 3, breathing in, breathing out 4, breathing in, breathing out 5. Inhale brings us back to center, and at center we're going to lengthen out through both legs, right? And then we're going to sit tall here. So I want to have the legs extended, toes are up towards the ceiling, right? And that might mean I have a little bit of bend under my knees. I could put the blanket here underneath them if that helps me feel like I can extend the legs and the top of the head towards the ceiling with more ease, right? So that might be an adaptation to the shape that I'm doing. And then we can let the hands rest in the lap, or if you choose, right, you can bring them outside the hips. We're practicing staff pose. Right, so once you shape yourself, just gonna let the eyes soften, right? And we're breathing here. Right, and it's a little deceptive perhaps because it's a very still pose, but it can start to feel very heat building in the body. So just staying with it the best we're able, staying connected to full breath in, full breath out. Trying to stay soft through the face, right? Soft through the jaw. So top teeth and bottom teeth are not touching. Two more breath cycles as you are. At the end of your next exhale, we're going to relax all the way down for our final resting pose. And that could simply be a coming down into full Shavasana. Again, if you are better served propping the body in any way, doing that. And then as we get ourselves set up in a way that allows us to feel supported as we settle and still the body, then we can again bring our attention back into our breath. All right, so the chakras have a seed sound or a mantra around them, and the seed or bija sound for our root chakra is Lam with an L, Lam. So you can incorporate that into your breath here. And it would be with the exhale, right? So breathing in, exhale, and that could be an external sound. We're all muted, so feel free to occupy your space with sound. It works too vibrationally with an internal repetition, so you can choose to incorporate that. Right, and then I'll count just a few times for us to start to lengthen the exhale. So breathing in together, breathing out, and then breathing in for 1, 2, 3, breathing out 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathing in 1, 2, 3, breathing out 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathing in 1, 2, 3, breathing out 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Continuing the breath cycle to yourself, counting in for 3, out for 6, or adding in the long and an extended exhale. Come back into the body, wiggling out through your fingers, wiggling out through your toes, circling out through your wrists, through ankles. Find another stretch with the inhale. Arms can travel up overhead. And then as you exhale, let yourself soften, drawing the knees in. You can roll onto your side, and from your side, you can press yourself up to a seat. As we come to a seat, we can let our eyes stay soft. You can bring a hand to the heart and a hand to the belly. Breathing in through the nose. Soft breath out of the mouth. Again, like that. And softening your head to your heart. Honoring the light within you. Seeing and honoring that same light in each and every one of us. Namaste.